Hi, I'm EllaAradia and welcome to your Psychic Tarot love reading. This reading is for my Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn earth signs. The timestamps are below, where we'll be taking a deeper dive into your person's hidden feelings for you. This is a love reading and it's for those of you who are already connected with someone, even if you're currently in no contact with your person. This will be a very specific message, so it may not resonate for all of you. If it feels right, then it's for you. Otherwise, you may want to check out the readings for your other placements, so Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoyed this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Taurus, let's jump in. So I always like to just feel into the energies a little bit before I start pulling cards. I'm seeing a possible split in your paths, between you and your person. Doesn't mean that has to happen, but I'm almost getting the sense of a big question coming up right now between the two of you in terms of, do you still want the same things? Do your paths still align? And for some of you, I feel some kind of new offer or opportunity has opened up for you, and there is some kind of invitation to walk a new path here. And it's one which I feel is very closely linked to, you stepping into some kind of purpose or fulfilling some kind of life goal or dream here. And so it's a moment of moving into a new version of yourself. And that's why I feel this question has come up, are your paths still aligned? Or is it time to bring things to a close and kind of both go your own way? So the overall energy is the Four of Swords. So you or your person, I feel, may have, just taken a little bit of a step back. And sometimes it's very important to do that because, coming back to ourselves and taking a pause, stepping out of a situation for a moment, it does allow us to really get in touch with our true feelings. And it's very difficult to do that sometimes if, the other person is constantly, putting their energy into our space. So this could be both of you. You may even be in no contact. But it's important to remember with this card that, the silence is never silent. Like there's always so much going on in these moments of, stillness, because it's about healing, it's about rejuvenation, and it's about getting in touch with your heart and your inner wisdom. And with your person's view of you, we have the King of Cups. Their feelings towards you, the Queen of Cups. So with the King and Queen of Cups here, that's like I said before, it's a deep bond. This is somebody that you have a lot of history with. It's a soulmate bond. And sometimes, these can be the most challenging ones to let go of sometimes. Their intentions towards you, the Two of Cups. Your feelings towards your person, the Ace of Wands. I definitely feel that if you guys can get talking and communicating, I do feel that, it might be possible here to align your paths into this new phase. Like for some of you, I feel like whatever this opportunity is, it may involve some kind of foundational change, like a location change or something like that. And when I feel into the energies of your person, I do feel that there are some fears and insecurities coming up. I feel like you're dealing with someone who finds change a little bit difficult, is what I'm getting. And I definitely feel with the King of Cups, you know, they're having a difficulty in really kind of reading you emotionally at this time. Because the King of Cups is an energy which, yes, you know, can hold a space for, you know, deep connection. The King of Cups isn't really someone who openly kind of wears their heart on their sleeve. But with the Queen of Cups here as their feelings towards you, I do feel like this is someone that really loves and cares about you, Taurus, and they want to love you. And that's what this Two of Cups is all about, you know, these soulmate bonds and, you know, deep mutual connections which are built on trust. Because I do feel that, you know, this is someone that you have a lot of history with, there's a lot of memories there, you know, there is, what I'm seeing, this energetic cord which connects both of you, which is of love. And I feel like this is someone that you just feel at home with, like you know each other so well. You know, it's a very deep soulmate bond. And I feel the question here is really working out, is that something, you know, that we take to this next phase together or not? But I do feel there is a desire in both of you here to, you know, find a way to make that work, because with the Ace of Wands here, that's a new beginning, and, you know, you wanting to have this fresh start with your person. So I definitely feel on your side, whatever this new beginning is, you're definitely wanting, you know, them to be part of that. So let's just look at your challenge. So we have the Nine of Swords. I feel like your person's just really overthinking things. And, you know, the invitation here is really to get out of the mind and into the heart. And this is the thing, I feel like they're overthinking things, they're in all these kind of like fears, insecurities, how's this going to work, you know, what kinds of, you know, changes are going to have to take place here, you know, will I have to, you know, leave certain, you know, things, people, places behind, and really getting into this kind of energy of anxiety here, because this is a little bit like a mental prison. And this is where I feel your person is getting stuck. But we're never really stuck, because the invitation of that card is to get into the heart and actually just listen to, you know, what does the heart truly want here? Because like I said, I feel like it's love that connects you, and you have a connection, you know each other so well. And it's definitely something I feel that you can get through. And with your hidden influence, we have the Five of Swords. And again, I feel like this is your person here. I feel like they are just having this huge conflict inside of themselves. Advice from the universe, the Ace of Cups. Being open emotionally, following your heart, and being open to, you know, whatever this new beginning is. and in the outcome, the Knight of Pentacles, which is a slow-moving energy, but it is one that moves, and it's all about, you know, putting one foot in front of the other. And I feel that's where the key is in, you know, resolving this situation with your person. It's about listening to the heart and just taking one step at a time here, and not kind of getting too far ahead into the future of how is this going to work out, how will we do that, this, that and the other. And, you know, moving together as a team here, the two of you, through a place of trust and putting one foot in front of the other. And I definitely feel here, Taurus, that, you know, that love that you have for both of you is going to, you know, really carry you through. So let's just get your person's hidden message for you. So this is more about, you know, when you are in no contact. Taurus. Okay. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. We need to let each other go. Now, you know, that may or may not be on a physical level. It may be about letting go of beliefs or limitations or fears or insecurities that, you know, are holding both of you back. I lost myself for a while. I'm so attracted to you. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. So Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. So we are going to move on to Virgo. I do feel like there is the possibility there for, you know, growth, evolving and healing. And definitely, like I said, I feel that trust and that love, you know, is your superpower in this, to kind of leading you both forwards. So, okay, Virgo, let's dive in. So I just like to feel into the energies before I start pulling cards, just to see what comes through, what it gets shown, any channeled messages. I'm instantly feeling here, Virgo, a question of understanding each other's needs. Because I feel like I've got two people here who are not feeling seen, recognized and acknowledged in some way. And I feel like there's been a lot of conflict around how they're not stepping up, you know, vice versa, and just feeling unsupported, and on both sides feeling like your needs are not being met here. And like I said, I do feel like there may have been some conflict, some arguments, you know, things have, turned a little bit, you know, a lot of drama going on, that type of thing. So with your overall energies, we have the Star, a card of, you know, faith, healing, hope, renewal. So it may be that, you know, some kind of new beginning or renewal is possible in this connection. And, you know, the Star is, I feel sometimes about understanding the bigger picture and understanding the soul lessons, and the kind of communication I feel that's been going on doesn't feel particularly healthy to me. And I feel what will help a lot is if that communication can get a little bit more real, because the Star card, you know, the figure here, she's naked, and this is all about not being afraid to be vulnerable, to be seen for who you truly are. because I do feel that there is a little bit of a block or challenge here around, both of you, really communicating from that place of, truth and vulnerability here. And that's why it feels like drama. And with your person's view of you, the Ten of Cups, they have you down as their person. They see the potential, they came into this, for the long term. Because the Ten of Cups is, that their happily ever after card, the wish is fulfilled, emotional fulfillment. And with their feelings towards you, the Seven of Cups, so they definitely see the potential here. The Seven of Cups is all about potential. But of course, the caution with that is, we can sometimes get more kind of hooked on the dream or the potential rather than what is actually going on in the present moment. But you're definitely with someone here who sees the potential here, Virgo. Their intentions towards you. So this is a card of momentum. I feel like they are getting ready to, make some kind of move towards you. There may be communication, especially if you are, you've had an argument and you've fallen out, there's no contact right now. The Eight of Wands does represent energy moving and some kind of swift action. And I do get the sense that your person is getting ready to really come forward and communicate to you. And I do feel that they have reflected, on some of these disagreements, what's gone down here. Things that were said, I feel like they're reflecting on their behavior, how they've been showing up in this, Virgo. And with your feelings towards your person, we have the Nine of Cups. This is a card of emotional fulfillment, but sometimes I feel it can be when we are feeling a little bit guarded. So definitely get this energy off you that you're open, but you're closed. There's a little bit of a guarded energy here and a little bit of a cautious energy. And I do feel that it's often a very delicate balance with this card around being open or being so closed off that, we end up blocking out perhaps, the blessings or the opportunities of a situation. And what lies in your challenge, the Ten of Pentacles. So we've got the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like you both have each other down, as each other's person here for the long term. Building towards a future together, building those strong foundations, building something that, is going to stand the test of time here. And with your hidden influence, the High Priestess. And sometimes that represents things being hidden, but in this case, I feel what's being hidden is that open, honest communication and, not being afraid to be vulnerable and express your true feelings. And that is the invitation here, I feel Virgo. Because ultimately, I do feel that you both want the same things. But for me, it's this sense of, sometimes when a connection is about to kind of go to a next level, fears and insecurities can come up. And sometimes we can hit a block or a challenge. And I do feel like for some of you that is something that's going on here, as well as, you know, this call here to really be honest about what you want with each other and understanding what each other's needs are, because very often, you know, a lot of these disagreements come when there is some kind of misunderstanding around roles in a connection. So with your advice from the universe, the Queen of Pentacles, so nurture yourself, remember your worth and value moving forwards, because, you know, this is a card of, you know, really seeing your value here, Virgo, and knowing, you know, what you have to give, because the Queen of Pentacles is a very, very nurturing energy, and as much as you look after people around you, it's also about you looking after yourself in this as well. And with your potential outcome, we have the Magician, and this is a card of potential. It's, you know, seeing the potential that you have with each other and working towards, I feel, manifesting that and, you know, bringing that into the reality here, so that it doesn't remain, you know, something that's an illusion. And so it's really just about talking and, you know, putting that work in, and that's what relationships are ultimately all about, are putting that work in and making that commitment to each other. So let's just get your person's hidden message. So particularly if you're in no contact with your person, this is what the hidden message is about. So Virgo, I left when I saw you with someone, so that's going to resonate for someone. I feel you even though we're apart. I want you. Just being near you is intoxicating. You are the best thing in my life. Virgo, I am going to leave it there. So let's move on to Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn. So one more shuffle. Okay, let's dive in. So I'd just like to feel into the energies, Capricorn, before I start pulling cards here. I've got echoes of the monthly reading here, which, if I remember rightly, was for many of you some kind of upgrade that was happening in your life. You were being acknowledged for something, you know, there was the fulfilling of life dreams, success, and a person that you were connected to which was a little bit afraid of what that change might bring, of how it might affect the connection, and a fear deep down inside to lose you. So with your overall energies, we have the moon. So a little bit of a lack of clarity on your situation with your person right now. I feel like these fears may have perhaps triggered a certain kind of behavior from your person towards you, which has perhaps left you a little bit in the energy here, Capricorn, of wondering, you know, where do you stand? So the moon, it can represent, you know, things being hidden, but it can also represent the subconscious world, you know, fears and insecurities, which can sometimes impact a connection. So with the person's view of you, the Page of Pentacles, their feelings towards you, the Six of Pentacles, and their intentions, the King of Pentacles. So a lot of earth energy here. I do feel your person is deep down inside willing and wanting to grow and wanting to do that with you and for the connection. And I definitely feel that, you know, with the Six of Pentacles here, this is all about give and take. And it often shows up when one person has been investing more than the other one. And I definitely feel on your side there has been this sense of a lack of support from your person. And I feel deep down inside it's because they're afraid to lose you here. They're afraid of what that change might bring, that new success. You know, will it take your time? Will it take you away from them? Because I do feel like this is somebody that has a desire to look after you and take care of you. And what I keep feeling here is, you know, in terms of, I mean, this can be any gender, but there may be some issues that have been triggered here around not feeling enough in some way, not feeling like, you know, they are putting in their part, particularly on perhaps a financial level, and it may have, you know, triggered some fears and insecurities. With your feelings towards your person, the Knight of Cups. So I do feel like you want some kind of, you know, new beginning here. You know, Knight of Cups is, you know, an offer, a new offer of love. And I do feel that in your energy that ultimately, you know, you want to work things out. But what you're needing from your person is much more of an equal energy of give and take and support. You need to feel supported by them, you know, in these next steps forward. And what lies in your challenge here, the Two of Swords. A choice to be made, one that you might be avoiding or your person might be avoiding. And also sometimes it can be when we get a little bit stuck in our head, and the invitation of this card is much more to tap into your heart, that inner wisdom. That's what the water represents. It represents our intuition. And in terms of your person here, you know, it might be avoiding facing those insecurities that are, you know, there in their inner world. Because sometimes it can be about a truth that is being avoided. And with your hidden influence, we have the Six of Swords, a card of transition, of moving away from a difficult or challenging time, moving away from, let's say, choppy waters towards calmer waters and a place of healing. It's often a card of problem solving as well. And it's about learning from the past here, Capricorn, and taking that wisdom with you moving forwards. And, you know, what I do like is that there's two people in the boat. And there definitely is a possibility or a potential to, you know, work this out between the two of you and to make this transition together as a team. Because I do feel like this is someone that, you know, does want to, you know, really look after you and nurture you and take care of you and, you know, provide that stability. With your advice from the universe, the Page of Swords. So, yeah, don't make any hasty decisions. You know, I feel like you're still, you know, gathering all the facts of a situation. And, you know, we're still gathering information sometimes before we make a decision. And in your outcome, we have Death, which is a card of transition. And it's not a negative card, but it's about a necessary change. It's often about letting go of things which no longer truly serve. You know, letting go of old versions, old ways of being, the ending of a chapter, the beginning of a new one. So there's a lot of transitional energy here. And with death, it's some kind of positive process of change. And I definitely feel, you know, there is love for your person. This is someone that, you know, does want to pour into you and make that effort and is willing to, with this Page of Pentacles, you know, move out of their comfort zone and grow. And I definitely feel like this is something you can work on and get through together and move into this next chapter. So let's just get your person's hidden message. So this is more about for those of you who are in no contact with your person. Capricorn, okay. So I bury myself in work to forget you. I will wait for a sign from you. I hide behind material things. We need to let each other go. I lost myself for a while. So Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, and I wish you a great month ahead.